All right, guys. I didn't do a video last week covering the Commanders' loss, just because I'm just being honest. I just wasn't into it. I've never seen us get swept by the Washington Commanders in my time back. I remember watching this team. I can't remember the last time it's happened. So even in our worst years, we've always managed to beat up on the Commanders. And look at this: they get new ownership, they get a new coach, they get a new quarterback, and look at them go. I think they just lost to the Steelers, but that's only the third loss. We have 3 times the losses they do, or just about. So it's just crazy. This is a season of all time. 100 season, and I have 100 reasons why I should stop watching these games. But I still do because something's wrong with me. I'm not going to waste your time. After this loss to the Carolina Panthers, I don't even know what to say. I don't know how to even do my videos anymore. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to hear from the horse's mouths what's going on with this team. And who knows what I'm going to say after listening to this. So I hope you enjoy. I don't know how long this freaking video is going to be, but we're going to go on. Something has got to be done with this team. Something. Ridiculous, man.
We'll practice a couple days next week and evaluate everything.
No, what we need to evaluate is, do we have the right head coach? We know the quarterback's gone. There's no more question. 2 picks in the red zone. Get out of here, Jones. You're done. You're done. But Daboll, all these people out here saying so sure that if you got to draft your own quarterback, everything is going to be fine. I'm not saying he shouldn't. Him and Shane shouldn't. But let's be real. Look at his coaching resume. Oh, are we so sure he's this quarterback guru as supposed? Are we sure? Look at his resume. Oh, he's responsible for Josh Allen becoming what he was. Ken Dorsey was. Look it up. Once Ken Dorsey joined the team, offense jumped from 17 to 2nd and 1st in the next 2 years. That was Ken Dorsey, quarterback coach. He's the one who changed Josh Allen. Josh Allen's first 2 years, if I remember correctly, offense was 28th and then 17th. That's a pretty good jump, but it's not out of the realm of what we've seen in his career. Other than those 2 years with the help of Ken Dorsey, Brian Daboll has never coached an offense that was 15 or above. Look it up. He's not the coach. He's not. He took over play calling, and the plays don't look any better. Oh, but he's got to get his quarterback. He's got to get his quarterback. Why can't someone fix our quarterback? It's been how long? John Mara, you have not hired the right guy yet. And you just...
Yeah, I wish I had it back. Yeah, wish I had it back. Didn't work.
There were guys open though.
Yeah, I wish I would have. Wish I had it back. Yeah, bad coaching.
Now, look at his face when he said bad coaching and did the little thing with his mouth. We all know what that means, guys. That's body language 101. He actually means bad quarterback. Is he wrong? No. But stop it. He is so lucky that Jones is so bad that he's going to be saved and given the benefit of the doubt. But he's had Jones for 3 seasons. 2.5 if you want to count the injuries. How much better has he really gotten? 2022, we started out really good, but fizzled out in the end. I think that's because after several games, people realized what we were doing offensively, and we became the team that we've seen the last few seasons under Jones. Offensively inept. But he has the nerve to throw this guy under the bus every week as if, oh, it's all him. I'm the quarterback guru. You saw what I did with Josh Allen. That was Ken Dorsey. You're not slick. And I want you Giants fans to watch. If I'm wrong, I'll be the first to come out here and say I was wrong. But as of right now, I promise you, if we get a new quarterback under this man, he won't do anything. We'll have an offense below half, below a quarter, the bottom quarter of the league. I guarantee it. For 2 seasons straight. Then we'll fire him and have to start over again. But funny enough, this is the time John Mara maybe won't fire the coach. And it's so sad that at this point, we have the wrong coach. So John Mara's going to finally put his trust in the coach. The coach is going to let him down. And I don't know if John Mara's poor little heart can handle it. But you know what? Maybe he deserves it.
I'm sorry? Yeah, look, you never want to turn the football over, and he knows that. But the job is to make sure we maintain possession of the ball. So we'll look at the reason why it happened, the ball handling.
We know why it happened.
Good play by the defense, but we can't turn the ball over in this league 3 times and expect a different outcome.
The way he keeps looking down and doing a thing with his mouth, he's so bad. Just wants to say this quarterback effing stinks. I wish he would just say it. Just say it. Just say it. Because then we'll really be able to fire you. Please. You're not wrong.
Coach, this is the last international
But please.
game of the year here. Any thoughts on whether it's easier to play later in the season overseas or earlier? How did your routine change, if it did at all?
No, we pretty much had a normal Friday and Saturday. Again, it was a great atmosphere. The people here were awesome. Just didn't get the outcome we want.
Why do you think this season has gone the way it is?
Yeah, I'm not going to reflect on the season. We just lost a tough game. Certain plays everybody would like to have back, and long trip back, and we'll have a bye week here and make the most of it.
The only thing reflecting is off of your bald head. Yeah, you dang right. You dang right we got nothing to reflect. What he really wanted to say is that we just lost to the Carolina Panthers. There's nothing to talk about. And you know what, Daboll? You're right. There is nothing to talk about. You should be fired yesterday.
Seems to be regressing, but your overall progress in your year at 3.
Yeah, I'd say there's certain things we're doing better. The record isn't what it needs to be. But we'll go back, we'll evaluate, we'll do the things we need to do to finish up strong second half of the season.
Brian, how do you feel, Rant kicks a field goal, get it in overtime. How did the field goal in overtime? Defense, so momentum.
Yeah, won the toss. Came out and fumbled it on the first play.
And I don't want anybody out there. I don't want a single Giants fan out there to put this game on Tyrone Tracy. If you do, go be a Jets fan. Go be a Jets fan. Don't ever wear blue. Don't ever claim you bleed blue if you think this game is on Tyrone Tracy. Yes, he made the crucial mistake, but he's the only reason we've been in these games the last few weeks. This kid is phenomenal. This kid is an absolute steal in the 5th round, and the only reason why I don't want Joe Shane fired as well. There's no. He is not the reason we lost. We lost because our quarterback is inept. And our head coach doesn't really understand how to develop quarterbacks. And he's getting scapegoated by Jones. And he will set this team back just as far as Jones and Gettleman did. Mark my words.
What do you think happened today?
Go back, watch the tape. I thought, the line ran.
There is no tape to watch. Take the tape, burn it, pick it up again, burn it again, put it in a sandwich and eat it.
Ball well, protect it well. Go back.
No mayo.
And evaluate it.
Brian, pass Tracy, that jump out
Yeah, the interception.
Was it a forced throw? How did you see it?
No, they blitzed. He was throwing hot, and then the guy made a good play.
Should have caught it.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and watch the tape.
There's no tape to watch, Daboll. Just say it. Quarterback threw the ball behind and allowed the defender to basically run into the ball and catch it while making a tackle. That's basically what happened. It was a bad throw by the quarterback. Just say it. You've been throwing him under the bus all the rest of the season. You might as well do it now. He was a bad throw. Just say it. We're not dumb. We see the tape. We see the play. Just say it. I can't take this team. Stop acting like we don't have a shit quarterback. Just say it.
Do you need that throw out further in front of him there?
Yeah, I'll go back and look at it. Again,
Go
2
back and
turnovers
look at
down in the
what?
red zone. We can't have those.
Opening drive. What was
Nothing to
the
look
thought
at.
process, I guess, the field goal there, potential no field goal, it was like 15.
Yeah, it was, we had our line for the start of the game, and it was beyond the line.
Clowney tips it. Did he tell you he didn't?
Cano has to go. I know he's been injured the last 2 seasons. We can't take all these kicking issues. We might have to find a new kicker. Unless Gano comes back to be what he was. There was once upon a time Gano was our best offensive player. But the last 2 seasons, I don't know what the heck's going on with him. We might have to find a new kicker.
See him?
No, Clowney made a nice play. Batted the ball up. And, again, turning the ball over twice down in the red zone. Can't have that.
Can't have it at all. He needs to be benched. Are you going to bench him? We'll see. Because if you don't, you're not making it through the season.
Yeah, again, you like Dexter out there all the time, but, there's some plays that he's not out there.
Because why do you think Daboll? Don't look down with them eyes. Don't do that thing with your mouth. Daboll's the worst liar in NFL history. Just look at his face, you know he's lying. What he really wants to say is that Dexter Lawrence is having one of the best seasons as a nose tackle that I've ever seen. Tons of sacks. And he's being wasted on a team that's being ran by probably one of the worst owners in the NFL. One of the worst head coaches in the NFL. One of the worst rosters in the NFL. Being wasted. Wasted! And he's about ready to check out because his offense is trash!
The play time and who's in and who's out, I'm not going to elaborate on that, but
Just because I have that thing.
There's a lot you need to
but-
elaborate. Why you should keep your freaking job.
Try to stress, stop and run.
yeah, that was one of the keys is, we knew they were going to run the football. I thought they attacked the edges well on a couple plays. Made some explosive plays in that area. 180 yards or whatever it was, 190 yards rushing, almost 6 yards a carry. And a couple of those were aided by big plays on the edge of the defense, and something we got to be better at.
Was there something that happened ahead of time with Dexter?
No.
This is up high, so it's a chance to kind of reset. What gives you confidence that you can get this thing turned around?
Yeah, I believe we got the right people. Again, results aren't there yet. We just lost a tough game. Got to tighten up quite a bit of things, some situational football, the turnovers got.
I don't think we have the right people, Daboll. We have some right people, but boy. Front office, coaching, I'm not so sure.
Us today, but we'll go back, we'll go to work and make improvements that we need to make.
You understand on both sides, they're kind of sketchy.
Road improvements are there to make. Well, there's a lot of improvements that we need to make. But when are we going to get that, Daboll? We haven't won a game since week 4. It's week 9, week 10? We're 2-8? Come on now. You can't keep saying this, man. Eventually you got to give us something. Something, bro.
Yeah, I'm just focused on our football team, and we're going to do the best job we can and give everything we got to improve the areas we need to improve.
If you really want to do that, bench Jones.
A lot of fans obviously, after the bye, coming second half by the quarterback and what his future is here. How do you approach that going into the bye week?
Yeah, I'd say, look, we got a lot of work to do here in the next few days, the next week. We'll evaluate where we're at and what we need to do.
How did you see Tracy's day?
Excuse me?
Did you see Tracy's day?
How did I see Tracy's day? Yeah, he made some nice plays like he normally does, and obviously he'd like to have that play back there at the start of overtime.
Tracy's a fantastic player. Nothing but respect for the kid.
One he fumbled, the returner fumbled.
Guys were 4th and 7, and they went offsides. Oh, the way he muffed it.
Yeah, he muffed it. Yeah, just thought it was the right thing to do. Punt it.
Anything else? How would you like to find Jones?
Look at his eyes. He's so ready to get off this podium.
Yeah, like I said, we had a good trip here. I really appreciate all the people, whether it was the hotel, the police, the soccer club, very hospitable. It's not the result we wanted.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Hang on. Okay. Had to take that jacket off, man. I was kidding. There's gonna be much more yelling, so. Sheesh. Daniel
Very
Jones.
frustrating.
If you want to go, when we listen to this, I want you to count how many times he repeats frustrating, look at the tape, gotta do better, gotta look at myself. All the same things he's been saying for the last few years. Look, there's not a lot of quarterbacks tougher than this kid as far as taking all the punishment, getting back up, standing in front, taking all the questions, knowing he's trash, but still being out there to support his team, still helping his team, still trying to be a quarterback. I'm going to give him all credit for that. There's not a lot of people in this world that would have the mental toughness that this kid has. But he's not an NFL starting quarterback. I've said this every single video. We need an upgrade at the quarterback position. If you didn't believe me or anybody else that said the same thing before, you are now a believer. You cannot watch this game and come to a conclusion that the issue is not Daniel Jones. And I don't mean he's the only issue, but he is a big issue on this team. You can't win games with a bad quarterback. This isn't the 0-1 Ravens. And I would even call, was Dilfer really a bad quarterback? Was Jones better than Dilfer? I don't know. But you think Jones is winning a Super Bowl on that team? I don't. So, you can't win games with a bad quarterback. Definitely not in today's league. It's a passing league. You have to pass. He can't pass.
Came up short, obviously hurt ourselves a lot. Turnovers were a critical factor in the game. So, very frustrating.
How frustrated are you? I just be wondering, man. I just want him to I just want him to hit the podium, throw something once. Well, I mean, don't do it now because most of these games are your fault. At least half the games are your fault. So you probably shouldn't do that either. But how frustrated are you? I'd be wondering sometimes.
Yeah, not good enough. Anytime you turn the ball over twice in the red zone, not good enough.
Were there any conversations?
And that's correct. You are not good enough. Goodbye, sir. Goodbye.
No.
What do you tell Tracy after?
He played a good game. Had some big time runs for us. The touchdown was a big run. He's hard on himself and expects a lot. So I think you just
pick him up and encourage him. Played a great game. He was big time for us today.
The only way him or anybody else in this team will be encouraged is if you're no longer starting quarterback. I said it.
What's that? Look back, see what I need to do to improve, focus on that.
Look back, see what I can do to improve. Okay. You haven't improved. You haven't improved. It's over, sir. You haven't improved in years. This is year 6, year 4 if you count the injuries. Whatever. But on your resume, on your paper, it says year 6. And you are playing worse than Bryce Young!
You know, I'll be fine. I just got to focus on what I need to do and do it. Yeah, threw hot off the blitzer. Go back and look at it. Probably need to put the ball in front more.
Do you see? You don't need to go back and look at it. You know exactly what you need to do. You need to go back and look at it. You know exactly what you need to do. But consistently, you don't do it! Can't believe this dude, bro.
Daniel, what was the difference between the second half and the first half? You guys regularly scored a couple touchdowns in the second half and the rest of the drives and all that earlier.
Well, obviously the turnover in the first half in the red zone hurt us. I don't know. I mean, I think we just caught more of a rhythm, started executing better, executed on third down better. We'll go back and look at the rest of it, but
it's something to look at. You know what's funny, guys? If you remember, I'm recording this on the Monday, so a day after the game. And we saw what happened with the Lions game, Lions versus the Texans. Very good game. But Goff threw 5 picks, yet they still won the game. Why is that? It's because the quarterback knows how to throw. It's because the offense knows how to flow. It's because the coaches know how to coach. It's because the owner knows how to own. And we have none of that. Good teams can overcome even 5 interception games. But we can't overcome 1, let alone 2, against the Carolina Panthers. This is the thing. It's not just the interceptions. It's not just the turnovers. It's the fact that this offense, the way it runs, is so slow, so methodical. Every possession is so important. And I think Carl Banks said this. You have to value every possession. Because this offense is so bad, if we actually somehow get into the red zone, we have to score. Because there's no guarantee we'll ever get back there under this quarterback. Which is why when Daniel Jones throws a pick, it's like Jared Goff throwing 3 picks. It's the equivalence. It's the same. It's a shame. Daniel Jones has to be seemingly perfect just for us to have a chance to win. And that's a lot to ask for a guy who's far from perfect. That's why I'm not putting all of it on Jones. He needs to go first and foremost. But you can't tell me coaching has nothing to do with this. How can we have a guy in year 6 still has foot issues with lining up his feet, issues with turning his hips at the right time, issues with timing, letting the ball rip, issues with knowing when to throw people open rather than wait for people to get open. It's been this long and he hasn't learned anything. He hasn't learned anything and no one's talking about it. No one's explaining it. We have all these coaches come through this freaking organization and no one's taught this guy how to play quarterback. And you want to say it's all Jones? No, it's these damn coaches. It's John Mara. He can't hire anybody to do anything. That's why. John Mara.
Yeah, just we gotta get off to a faster start and stay on the field, sustain
Can't do it,
drives in
man.
the
This
first
team's
half.
horrible, bro.
Any more for Daboll?
How would you like the new experience?
Yeah, I think it's
Can't
a
do it.
cool
This team
experience to be able to play
sucks.
over here. You know, it's a cool stadium. Crowd was good. Obviously, we got to play better.
You think? You think we play better? You don't? You think? You need to sit your mind down. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, I think the league's put a heavy emphasis on that in the last few years, and that's something, you know, you talk about a lot. You know, we've introduced the Guardian caps, and I think that's helped in practices. But yeah, certainly aware of it and try to educate yourself as best as possible. But everyone who plays understands the, you know, the risks of playing.
I don't know why they're asking about player health and safety. Can we ask some real questions? Why do you think you should still be the starting quarterback for this team? I'd love to hear that answer.
Like I said, it's something we're certainly aware of as players, and yeah, so you think about it and certainly aware of it. So you got to do your best to, you know, playing quarterback particularly, protect yourself when you're running and protect your head. But you know, people, you know, understand the risk when they're playing and accept those when we're out there playing.
You guys are sitting at 7-8, I mean, do you do anything about that system?
I think just evaluate what we haven't done well enough, what's holding us back, see
We know what's holding us back.
where I need to be better and where I can help the team. So
You look at the way he put his head down. He doesn't even believe he could do this. He's done it. He knows it. He knows it. Again, John Mara. Put this kid out of his misery. Let him go to another team and maybe revive his career. It's over here. You said it yourself. You did everything you could to ruin this kid. And he's ruined. Oh, yes, he's ruined. You did this, John Mara. Now it's your turn to fix this. Bench him now. I'm not doing anything. It's all them. No, it's you. Bench him now. Put him out of his misery. Let this team move on finally. We need to evaluate, not him. We're done with him. We need to evaluate this head coach. Let's see if he can coach Drew Lock or Tommy DeVito into some wins. Unless you're trying to tank. If you're trying to tank and you keep starting him, that's all that's going to tell me. So if he starts after this game, you're tanking. I understand that too. That's fine. But if you really seriously want to win like you say you do, he will not be the starting quarterback next after the bye. If he,
yeah, I think
Look at him.
That's the
Look at him.
mindset we all need to take.
John Mara.
Going into this second half of the season.
And we get 3 or 4 games losses on one possession. How can you turn that and make it into wins?
Yeah, I mean, I think just got to execute in critical situations. I think the turnovers today killed us. You know, there's been other things that have held us back in other close games. So we got to look at where we're coming up short. And you know, I'm not sure it's one thing consistently. I think, you know, several things, and we got to you know, every game be dialed in on all those critical things that determine winning and losing.
Lex, you've taken such a leadership.
And look at this man. Look at him. Look at him. This man single-handedly is helping us win games, and his greatest season is being wasted. You don't think he wants defensive MVP this season? You don't think that's what he was thinking about? It's not selfish, because this man's putting work. He deserves to have this reward, but he's not going to get it. He's on a 2-8 team going nowhere. Look at him. He's dejected. John Mara, this is on you!
Well, with this group this year, how do you handle, this situation, the flight home, the bye week? Like, what do you say to guys to get them through this?
Really just evaluate yourself before you start pointing fingers or starting clicks or, stuff like that. It's a young team, and
that's the right thing for a leader to say. Now, you know what? Even though we all know this is on Jones, as a teammate, as a fan, I could do it. I could point at whoever I want because who cares what I think. But as a teammate, you certainly don't want to start pointing fingers because there's a lot of people on this team other than Jones that we need to really evaluate. So he's right to say
that could happen really easily if the leaders don't jump on top of it. So the message is evaluate yourself and see what you can do better and be critical of yourself this week when you watch tape.
Is that something you've seen?
No, there's not anything I've seen, but it could happen. It's the nature of humans.
Is that something you said, or did anyone speak up in the locker room before?
Yeah, we spoke on it in the locker room.
Is it the captains as a group?
Yeah. Well, as a team.
Yeah, so you
Code word. Don't blame this game on Jones. Look at yourself. That's exactly what he's saying.
Coming into this game, they're going to want to run the ball. They got a lot of yards again on the ground. I mean, what do you see going on up there with that?
We just got to do better on the edges. With the crack tosses, they was getting that was the main play they was getting yards on. The only play really. We just got to do better setting the edge and crack.
Yep, setting the edge. That's on you, Burns. That's on you, Thibodeau, when you come back.
Replacing.
You weren't out there the first 5 plays in the second half. They had 2 long runs up the middle. Just curious why that's the case.
Yeah, I don't really play a lot of plays. I don't play 100%, and Devontae was getting the start the second half.
How are you feeling physically at this point of the season?
I am depressed and I'm sick of this team being so bad. I should have a defensive MVP right now, and I don't.
Where I play and what teams do to me, I take a lot of a beating, they say. But I feel good. This bye week definitely going to help. Definitely not 100%. I don't think anyone is, but this week is just for me to get my body right and my mind right and, decompress and come back and be the guy that the team needs.
Are you okay with not playing the first 5 plays of the half? Like that seems a little strange.
Yeah. That's just the way the game went this time. Yeah.
It's so sad, man.
What about the German crowd and the stadium experience?
The who?
The German crowd, the stadium experience, the fans?
Oh, it was really loud all the time. I really know what the cheering was for some of the time. But it was cool. It was cool to play here and get this experience. The grass wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But it was fun just to be a part of the culture.
Next, it's a new games coming next season in Dublin, Mexico City, new locations. Do you would like to go back with the Giants to a new destination?
You said Dublin?
Dublin, yes.
Where's
Mexico
that?
City.
Dublin.
It's Irish accent, sorry.
I might want to just stay in MetLife. Yeah, it's a long way during the season to travel.
If we were winning, I would go, but we're not, so I'll just stay at Met.
It's a little rough.
Take 2 more.
Dex, what's the psyche of this team, in your opinion, at 2-8 right now?
Honestly, right now, I don't know. We just got off the game, so we haven't really been able to talk or communicate for real. So I can't really tell you the psyche, but my psyche is to get ready for whoever we play next. Do all I can to get my mind and body right, and just go out there, just be ready to play.
Do you think Daboll's message is still getting through to the locker room?
I think it is. Just got to be comprehended a little better. I think it's getting.
Got to be comprehended a little bit better. I think it is. but I think it has to be comprehended a little better. Okay.
Drew, it's just, it's critical moments. And we got to understand what those critical moments are to be able to win and come out on top.
From the outside, you said 10 games in, like you're saying it's not being comprehended. Isn't that troubling to you? Or should that be troubling?
It's annoying for sure. But I'm not in other people's heads or brains, or maybe got to be communicated differently, or got to hear from somebody else. So.
That, oh man, this is why I love Dexter Lawrence, because that's the realest answer we've gotten all day. We're not going to get anything from Brian Daboll and Daniel freaking Jones, but let the real leader of this team, the real heart of this team, tell you like it is. And he's telling you straight up, it's not being comprehended. I can't be in other people's heads. He's fed up, guys. He's fed up. And based on his production, based on his standing, based on what he means to his team, he's got every right to say this. Call them all out.
Malik, how do you feel with the jump?
Malik Neighbors, another great player that's been, unfortunately, put in a position of making the game-losing play some weeks back. But no, that game was not on Malik Neighbors, and this game was not on Tyrone Tracy. Malik Neighbors, Tyrone Tracy, great players for the future. I'm not putting any game on them. They know they need to not fumble. They know they need to catch. I'm not putting any game on them. The issue is the ineptitude at the head coach and quarterback positions. And that's why, unfortunately, these players are having probably the saddest season they've ever had in their entire lives, playing for this sad organization.
You feel good after the jump and the falling?
Oh yeah, I feel good. Trainers came up, asked me a couple questions on how I feel, gave them the feedback. I feel good.
Why did it take so long for you? You guys got some going in the second half, but why did it take so long to get it going?
We gotta, stay off third down, get some explosives going, stop the turnovers from happening, and we're right in that game.
You had your big drop against the Panthers earlier this season. Did you talk to Tracy at all?
Yeah, I did. I went over to him. Because I know that feeling. You don't kick a man when he's already down. You know what he did. That feeling is not a good feeling that you got to carry over to the week until it's time the next play, until it's time for you to play the next game. So, I went over there. I told him, that play doesn't define you. That one play doesn't lose us a game, So.
And as somebody that went through the same thing a few weeks ago, it's good that he said that. He has first-hand experience with that. And what he just said right there, that one play didn't lose us the game. Absolutely. And the whole team knows it, I guarantee you. That one play wasn't the reason we freaking lost.
So, I went over there, I said, you played a hell of a
Looking at you, Daboll. Looking at you, Jones.
game,
Looking at you, Mara.
He's scoring. He's carrying the ball pretty good for us. So we're feeding him the ball. He got us going in the second half with that score. So he's been doing a great job. He's preparing right. So you don't kick a man when he's already down. So I shared a couple of words with him just to lift his courage. But like I said, how many times people come up to you and tell you it's not your fault, you still got that feeling inside that it's your fault. But like I told him, it's not his fault.
Malik, when you guys finally got it to overtime, with that field goal, how confident were you that you guys would go down the field and score?
I was very confident. I went up to Dave's. I said, if there's anybody to give the ball to when we get past and to score, I said, let it be me. I said, I'm gonna put it on my back, whether anything goes right or wrong, I'm ready to take it all. So just put it on me.
Leader.
We asked you this last week because the frustration levels of having to kind of go through this losing season, 5 in a row. How are you feeling overall?
Mixed emotions, frustration, don't want to try and fix it, try and get better, but as a group, you can't point the fingers at each other. It takes 11 men on that field to win a game. It takes 22 offense and defense for you to win that game, plus special teams. So we got to find our ways to win when, we get dirty. We got to find our way to, stop turnovers, get the offense going. Our defense has been playing a good job. It's hard for our defense to keep going out there tired, trying to get stops, and our offense is not putting points up. So we got to do a better job of playing complementary football, doing good stuff on offense, doing good stuff on defense, and carrying each other, picking each other up. And that's how you lead. That's how you gain a team. That's how you gain a family.
That's correct. And I wish we had a family for you, sir. I wish we really did. And maybe you guys are starting to make that in the locker room. Maybe you already have that. I hope so. I hope whoever's in that group as a team, I hope y'all stick together. But we're certainly got to trim some fat, for sure. Everyone isn't going to be here next season.
This bye come at the time for you, do you think?
It's good to just, get your body back right, look at the old film, see where we need to increase on, and that's really it.
We're gonna get you someone that can actually get you the ball. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. They better.
Well, they took you in to get tested.
Say that again?
They took you in to get tested for the concussion.
Oh yeah, I got sent to the tent just to receive protocol about that. They saw me get up, grab my head, and they just wanted to, make precautions to my safety.
On that flea flicker, did you think you and/or Wandale, were open and that had a chance to be a big play?
Yes.
Yeah. When you look at it, you can see that we were open, but there's many things that's going on in Daniel's face that, us receivers don't see. We just out there running our route. We see that we open, but it's a lot of things going on in the backfield that, we don't know. You give the ball to the running back, defense collide down, so they're all blitzing. You flick it back, and it's just, us in coverage. But, it's a lot of things going on back there with Daniel. So,
There's certainly a lot of things going on back there with Daniel, and most of it is in his freaking head.
Asked him about it. He said, he couldn't see us, so, that's the play.
With them big old eyes, he couldn't see you. Okay.
It's a very long flight home, obviously. So the flight here. Is this loss going to make it seem even longer, do you think?
No. It hurts. Another loss, losing season, it hurts.
It really hurts.
The bigger thing is putting it behind you. The game is over. Can't go back and play the game.
The season's over.
Take that ride home. Look on the film. Look on the flight. Just look at the film. Evaluate myself. Try to see on things that I can work on to help the team.
Well, that's good. You hear that? Evaluate myself. So that means that message is getting across. Deshaun Lawrence is doing a good job leading this locker room.
That's really it.
Your key takeaways.
Brian Burns started out kind of rocky, but he's definitely came into his own. He was definitely showing up to play against his old team. I just wish most of the other players on this team had the same fire.
From today's game, and what can you improve for the rest of the season for the team?
Starting faster, stopping the run better. Trying to limit those.
Yes, he's definitely have to work on stopping the run. Absolutely. Him and K1. Because that edge is going to be a problem for the rest of the season unless we do something about it. Hopefully Shane Bowen, who I think he's a pretty solid defensive coordinator. He's had some mess ups for sure, but it's certainly not only last game wasn't really the defense's fault more so than the offense. Every other game has been offense. So I think Shane Bowen's done a fine job. But hopefully he can get that running situation sorted out.
Those explosive plays. Those are pretty much the main things.
Yeah.
What were they doing with Hubbard that allowed them to have that much success?
He was just being really patient. He was waiting to find his open seam, his open gap.
Chuba, Barry Sanders, Hubbard. Who would have known? I couldn't tell the difference. The way we were playing him.
And he was hitting it. Just gotta be more gap discipline with patient backs like that.
Dex mentioned the crack toss and that the edges were a problem there in regards to stopping the run. What did you see in that regard?
Yeah, crack toss, I think they tried to run one more on me, and then I got a holding call on it, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, those perimeter runs, are a little tricky to fit, especially when he gets, outside of us, the end. It's a little tricky to fit as far as like how the DBs come down and rotate. So we just got to be a little more dialed in on that and, tackle.
I wish he stopped rocking back and forth on the podium. That's so distracting. But
Ryan, what happened in that play that you've been on the field and you get out of the game? Some injury from the past or just a hit?
It was just a hit. I think I had probably got a deep contusion or something in my thigh, but it's nothing crazy. Just at the moment, my leg went a little dead.
Feeling good, right?
Yeah.
Usually sitting at 2-8 at the end of the bye. Where does this team go from here?
This team's done. This team's dead.
It's still the same with me. Take every day as its own day. Take every game as its own game. It's a process at the end of the day. Like I said, I reckon it ain't gonna change overnight. So.
Yeah. That's the second realest thing I've heard. It ain't gonna change overnight.
Just gotta stick to the process.
Absolutely.
I'm wondering if you heard what Dex said at the end there about the message coming across the guys being comprehended, but maybe not like fully.
What message?
From, I guess, the coach. From.
He was asked about Daboll's message to the team getting through.
I got in pretty late. I had a lot of familiar faces I was outside, talking to. So I got in pretty late. I might have missed a lot of what Daboll said.
No, Tim, what do you think? Okay, what do you think about the message that Daboll's giving the team and how it's getting through to everybody?
In general,
the message he gave after the game.
Just in general, to your team, like you're 2-8. Like, is the message that he's giving to the team being fully heard and comprehended, and then brought out to the field and doing what needs to be done to win games?
The message before the game was, detail oriented, focus, do your job, do your 111. I don't know the message after the game. I wasn't.
He means in general, Brian Burns. I don't know if he's being purposely acting like he doesn't get it or whatever, but that's interesting. I might look into that too. Hopefully him and Lawrence is on the same page, because if not, that's an even bigger issue.
I probably wasn't in there yet.
Brian, you said the other day that this game probably would mean a little more to you.
Yeah.
You said you have a lot of familiar faces to see. Did it mean more to you?
Yo, y'all see his hat? He got Zorro Yankees hat? God, that's clean as hell. I want that hat. Hey.
Hurt a little more to lose to the team
I certainly rather wear that hat than this one at this point.
Came up with in the NFL?
Yeah, it hurt.
Look at that hat, man. That's cold. Oh, wow.
Losing like that and, losing to a team I spent, extended amount of time with hurt. And, seeing all those faces that was in the building, was a little tough, but it was straight. I was happy to see him. Say it again.
The German crowd, how did you like it?
Oh, I enjoyed it. They were very interactive throughout the whole game, singing songs, cheering for stuff that didn't necessarily need to be cheered for. But it was fun, I really enjoyed it, So, yeah.
Ryan, do you have a preference of traveling overseas later in the season versus earlier, given your rhythms, routines?
I'd probably like to travel earlier. The only other time I traveled was my rookie year to London, and that was a pretty early game. Later in the season, it's a little taxing, with the sleep schedule and everything. You kind of get in a routine and it kind of throw you off. But it's kind of good that we got a bye week to bounce back. So.
You just take it what happened on the fumble?
My bad. I was looking down trying to find that hat. But here's Tyrone Tracy Jr. Like I said earlier, not his fault we lost this game. I know he's going to be feeling sick. But, sir, to most Giants fans, that fumble might have been the biggest fumble in franchise history. Because we're right now at the first pick, pending some more losses. So we'll see. And I want to point that out. I don't think that having the first pick is the if and all be all. I don't think it's going to change things overnight. You see what's happening with the Bears right now. They got the first pick, and they still look like garbage. So,
I mean, I just didn't hold the ball correctly. You know, I was trying to make a move, saw a guy in the hole. Gotta get the ball up. You know, it's on me. So, yeah, I gotta live with it.
Very, when you processing that on the bench, I guess what's going through your head as you're kind of sitting there and hearing them kick the field goal?
Yeah, I mean, it was hard, you know. I put a lot into this game, you know. Blood, sweat, and tears, you know, the same old everybody say, but, like, I play with passion. I feel like you can see it on the field.
Absolutely.
I have a lot of energy, and I hold myself to a high standard.
Absolutely.
So, you know, when things like that happen, with the game on the line, you know, in overtime, we come all the way back, like, you know, that's the last thing on your mind that you want to happen. So, yeah, I feel like for me, like I say, I hold myself to a high standard. So when that happened, all of my emotions kind of just came out of me at that moment.
And that's all right, bro. You'll learn from it. But we shouldn't have been in that situation anyway. The real issue wasn't the fumble. It's an issue, but it's not the real issue. The real issue is the fact that we were tied with the fucking Carolina Panthers. Daboll! Why are we tied with the Panthers?
On the interception, does the guy just make a good play ripping the ball away from you, or is there something you or Daniel could have done differently?
Yeah, he just made a good play. You know, he made a good play on the ball.
And funny enough, the person that made the play was Sean Robinson, someone that we cut. So that's even better. Anybody that leaves his team suddenly becomes a better player. Funny how that happens.
Overseas, playing in Europe.
I mean, it was a good experience, you know. The stadium was amazing. You know, the fans was amazing. You know, we went to, I think it's called City Square. We went there, you know, walked around. It was good. You know, it treated me well.
You said on the interception, I mean, did you have a play on the ball as well, do you think? Or, you know, I mean, did you take it out of your hands? Or you know, do you beat yourself up for that? Or you say, no, you made the play?
I mean, I'm always going to beat myself up when the ball in the air is in my possession, or if, you know, they hand me the ball, whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always trying to make sure that I'm, you know, taking care of it. But yeah, it was just a good play by him.
Take two more.
Did you expect to be the starter running back in the season and be on pace over 1,000 yards? This season you played great ball.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily like this was my vision, you know, coming into the season. My plan was just to come in and do whatever they asked me from the coaching staff. You know, God has blessed me tremendously to be in this position. You know what I'm saying? So with the skill set that I have and the favor that I have by God, like, it allows me, you know, to take advantage of the opportunities. So, you know, with really the opportunity that the coaches and the trust that they have in me allows me to go out there and play well.
This is your first NFL experience. How are you processing being 2-8? Like, how are the leaders communicating to you guys?
Yeah, I mean, everyone had my back. Like, I mean, you can see.
About the fumble, I just mean about the record being 2-8. Not about the fumble.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, everyone's really on the. I think we're all thinking the same. You know, we have to do better. We have to, you know, focus on the details.
We have to change the quarterback and possibly some positions in the secondary.
I feel like it's evident. You know, when you go back, you know, to last week or into this week, you know, we are a strong-minded team. You know, if a team comes back, you know, and forces overtime, you can't really come out and say that team isn't a strong-minded team. So I think we just have to, again, just figure out the little details and just come back to work.
All right, so that's about it. Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't say the team is weak-minded. We got to think about it. Dexter Lawrence said that the message, which I believe was just the general coach and team relationship and understanding of what the expectations are, he's saying that wasn't being comprehended well by certain people in the locker room. Burns was asked about it. I'm not sure if he was purposely avoiding the question or he didn't understand the question. But he was talking about Daboll's specific message before the game. He didn't know what he said after the game. And he stated that he was away, possibly talking to his old team before coming back in. That's not that important, the post-game message. What are you going to say? We suck and we got to figure something out, whatever. But I'm not sure if that's an issue, him not being there for that message. I didn't hear anybody else mention it, so I don't think it is. So maybe I'm gonna total it up as him not understanding the question fully. So if we just take that out of the way, we listen to what Dexter Lawrence said. He said that some people on the team aren't comprehending the message. We know he's had some issues with Deonte Banks, who's looking to be, so far, looking like a bust. And that's tough to say because he was so much better last season. Or maybe we just didn't see his faults. I don't know what the issue is. I'm not a DB expert, but he's been playing horrible this season. And Tyrone Tracy says that the team can't really say it's not a strong-minded team. I get it, because Jones, it's weird. Like, he's strong, but the way he plays quarterback, you make it, would led me to believe, and his body language would lead me to believe he has some mental fragility. Understandably so. All those injuries, all that bad O-line play, the owner himself coming out and admitting that they ruined him and did what they could to ruin him. I could see why he's like that. We've seen many quarterbacks that have nothing but bad coaching, bad ownership, bad team around them. It hinders their confidence. It hinders their play. We've seen this with Bryce Young, who's just now starting to actually win games. It's just, unfortunately, it's never been the case for Jones. We've had one of the worst GMs ever, one of the worst ownerships and front offices ever. We've had a slew of some of the worst coaches ever. And again, all that goes back to John Mara. This is on John Mara. I know he doesn't run the plays. I know he doesn't make tackles. I know he doesn't make catches. I know he doesn't throw the ball. But it comes down to ownership. Wellington Mara would never stand for this. Sure, there were bad periods under him, but there's been good periods. He understands how to evaluate what a good coach is. We had Parcells and Belichick on the same team. And if you look back in the 50s, he had Landry and Lombardi on the same team. My opinion is ever since this man passed in 05-06, this team has never been the same. Yes, we had Eli, and yes, we had a team set up in place. So we had some success after his death. But now, once all of that goes away, starting with Coughlin being fired, we see that the ownership has no idea what they're doing. And I'm afraid it may never change unless he makes a drastic change with how he runs things, or we're going to be just like the Cowboys, 30 years without a Super Bowl appearance. We're already, 12 years in? About almost 13 years in? We're going to be right there with the Cowboys, 30 years of ineptitude, unless the ownership changes. So, I could sit here and complain about the ownership all day, but we know that's not going to realistically change anytime soon unless something extreme happens. So for all intents and purposes, we're going to have to deal with Mara until the day he dies. Whatever. Let's talk about the head coach. No, let's talk about the GM. I know some people are probably out on Shane, Evan Neal being a debacle, what looks like Deonte Banks being a debacle. We could list a whole bunch of other players. Kayvon sort of being okay, but not being really first round pick worthy so far by most people's estimation. There's a lot he has to answer for sure. But you can't deny these last draft picks, this last year, has been very great. Tyrone Tracy Andrew Phillips, Tyler Nubin. I don't see that much of Musa, but he's made a play or two here or there. We can't deny we've had a really good draft, so that's why I'm not out on Shane just yet. I say we give him a couple more years. I mean, heck, if we're going to give Gettleman 5 years, we should give Shane 5 years for sure. Now, Brian Daboll. I said this before early in this video. I'll say it again. He needs to go. He stinks. He's not as good as people say he is. Josh Allen basically made his career. Other than Josh Allen, this guy's done nothing in the league worthy of him being a head coach of a football team. But we were just so desperate to find somebody. We chose him, and look what happened. If it were up to me, I'd fire Daboll. At the very least at the end of the season. If not, I would do it today. But if you're not going to do it today, that's fair. Do it at the end of the season. Hire Mike Vrabel and go on. Because this isn't going to work. Mark my words. I don't care what quarterback we get. Cam Ward, whoever. Daboll ain't going to bring him to nothing. Unless he's Josh Allen level, Daboll isn't bringing him to nothing. Even then, we'll never be a top offense under Daboll. It'll never happen. At the most, 17th, 16th, maybe 20th. It's never going to happen. Anyways, this was an extremely long video. If you stuck around for the whole thing, sheesh. You might as well hit the subscribe because you're a real one. I mean, what else can I say, guys? This team can't get any lower. So I'm gonna stick with it. I stuck my flag in MetLife Stadium, and it's gonna stay there. So hopefully something happens within my lifetime. If not, then it is what it is. But anyways, that was the video. God bless y'all. Have a great day. And win or lose, go Big Blue.